are here at Hollywood Smoke for another segment of 10 Count. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Doug Fischer and Michael Montero. Gentlemen, on the night of June 17th from the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, it was the rematch for the light heavyweight title of the world, and it was Andre Ward scoring an 8th-round stoppage over Sergey Kovalev, but it does not come without controversy. Michael, let's go to you first. How much do we make of this actual result? I think the result is the result. I think Ward was on his way to perhaps winning. He may have turned the tide, but I think it's hard to overlook what happened in the last minute or so of that bout.
Yeah, I don't even think it was the last minute. I think it started well before that, the controversy. I mean, however you look at this fight, it seems these two fighters cannot get together without some sort of controversy. I mean, going back to the first fight, just the way this entire deal was made, a contract signed in 2015, and then they wanted to renegotiate the rematch, certain parameters of the rematch fight. Going to the actual rematch, though, the low blows, borderline shots, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. Tony Weeks, I thought, lost control of this fight. I thought the last couple rounds, because let's be honest, Sergey Kovalev was rabbit punching. He was trying dirty stuff too. I think Weeks needed to pull these guys aside and have a stern warning and say, next one, I'm taking a point. Regardless of how you feel about any of that, you go to that 8th round. Look, that massive right hand from Ward, regardless of how he set it up, it was the best shot of his entire career. That was the best punch. That was the signature moment of his entire career, in my opinion, if you could put it in one little second. And Kovalev was badly hurt. Yeah. But he wasn't keeling over on the ropes because of that headshot. He was keeling over on the ropes because of some of those
borderline, and one of them was low. The last one before Tony Weeks stepped in.
And you just hate to see a fight end that way.
Right.
And here's what I don't understand from some of the Andre Ward fans. You guys got robbed.
Yeah.
Your fighter got robbed of a definitive highlight reel stoppage, I believe, that was going to happen in the next round. Now, if you're HBO and you're showing Andre Ward highlights, you don't show that stoppage. You show the right hand, but you don't show the stoppage because that's not a highlight you want to market a fighter with.
Yeah, if you show it, you have to talk about it.
Exactly.
Because it's very clear. It's
they
right
even
there.
Mention it, though.
There's borderline shots, and then the very last shot before Weeks jumped in prematurely.
And Weeks was
a
right
low
there.
blow. Yeah.
Can we stop saying Weeks couldn't see it?
Here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. If it's an American fighter that was overseas and he was fouled like that and the fight ended in that manner, or if he had been hit with borderline shots that the referee did not warn against in the previous round, people would be saying, we would see it on our Twitter timelines, American fans, they would say, no wonder fighters don't want to travel to wherever he is. Yeah. This is home cooking. This referee is biased. It's so unfair. Our guy has to fight 2 people in the ring. So if you're gonna have that mentality, then you have to be open to the fact that when a foreign fighter fights in the U.S. and there's biased things happening in the ring, you can't get mad at his fans and supporters for crying foul.
You know, it's interesting. Orlando Salido goes onto the black of the plate, like Tom Glavine hitting that outside corner, which strike zone widens right during his prime. Orlando Salido lands a lot of quote-unquote borderline shots. He's never given credit for being skilled. I just find that perception
People say he's dirty, and if you remember when Abner Morris won his first title, the IBF Bantamweight belt against Joseph Agbeko, a lot of low blows. The referee did not call him on that. And the boxing world came down on Abner, even more than Russell Mora, the referee.
People got were suspended.
They were saying, Morris, you're a dirty fighter, and I'm going to hate you for life. Okay? Yeah. So that's what happens. When you're a rough fighter, and I just, one other note, Andre Ward is an Olympic gold medalist, and he's viewed as a technician and a pure boxer. He's really tenacious. I mean, he's far more Bernard Hopkins, 40-year-old version, 40s version, than he is a Roy Jones Jr. or a Floyd Mayweather, okay? He's not that slick. He's really tough. He's very gritty. And when he's in with a rugged guy like a Sergey Kovalev, or turn back the clock to one of his final super middleweight fights, maybe his final super middleweight fight against Edwin Rodriguez, it gets really ugly. And it's important for the referee, like Jack Reese did with that Ward-Rodriguez fight, to stop it. And just like you said, lay down the law. You guys are both being dirty. This is ridiculous. You better stop it now. And Reese did that. Tony Weeks did not.
You know, I've said this for years. Andre Ward, his best skill is knowing how to win rounds. He knows how to lay a brick, lay another brick, and he all of a sudden builds a wall. Michael, from being there ringside, Sergey Kovalev, I think psychologically said to himself, I need to fight more on the inside because the perception was I got hurt with body shots, and I need to do more. Early on, being there at the Mandalay Bay, he got sucked into that Venus flytrap that is the Ward style. Instead of boxing from the outside, it's just my opinion, he felt if I box again, I'm going to lose every close round. And that played right into Ward's hands.
And this just goes to show how a poor decision, I'm not going to call the first fight a robbery. I don't think it was a close fight. But a poor decision can work on the mind of a fighter and his whole camp. But we do have to give Andre Ward credit for this. He looked to me like, Sergey Kovalev looked like he was in fight-ready shape. He looked fight-ready. Andre Ward looked like he was in I'm ready to walk through hell kind of shape. He was ready to do whatever the hell it took to win that fight, and we have to give him credit for that. Now, it's up to the ref to enforce the rules and get control of the fight.
No, Andre did what he was supposed to do. As you said,
and the ref
he created a moment. And like you said, and I agree with you, that right hand that rocked Kovalev down to his boots, that was his moment, and he seized it.
And if
he created the opportunity and took advantage of it, and the ref allowed him to.
If the ref's not helping you, if you've ever trained in the amateurs, even when you're a kid, the first thing they tell you, if the ref ain't helping you, I would have told Kovalev to come right out, get him right there.
But I think Kovalev, given what happened in the first fight, given the fact that he's in the U.S., it's all U.S. Officials, he's feeling, you know what? If I do what Ward does, they're going to take a point from me.
I hear you, but if
that may not be true, but I don't blame him for having that mindset.
Absolutely, but if that did happen, that would show clear bias, and that would be irrefutable at that point. Irrefutable. Now, some trolls on Twitter and everything would say it's not bias, but if he goes, call their bluff. Go out there, get dirty with him right back. He was rabbit punching him, but you guys, if you've ever sparred, low blows hurt. Rabbit punches, getting hit in the back of the head, it throws your equilibrium off. It doesn't hurt. Body punches or low blows kill you,
but Doug, you
especially
said
to the side.
About what Sergey Kovalev should do, and that usually comes from the direction of the corner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's Frank Sinatra. He's going to do it his way, and it's clear to me that the union and the relationship between John David Jackson is over. I think he's going to look for a new trainer. He was kind of an island unto himself. And that hurt him. It's obvious to me that at a certain point that he didn't respect Jackson or what he taught him or what he gave to him in the corner.
I think he respects Jackson.
But why wouldn't he listen at all then?
He improved a lot because they had reached a point in their trainer-fighter relationship where he just isn't listening anymore.
Right.
And that happens. That happens with guys who actually get along.
But remember why Abel Sanchez basically jettisoned him from Big Bear? He said, this guy's
he wants to do it his way. He doesn't want to follow.
You got to go.
And that cost him.
That's not going to change, though, Steve.
No, it's not. He is what he is.
If you change trainers, Kovalev, what? He's 34 years old. He is what he is. Yeah, he's. I mean, I don't see him changing his style or changing his ways at this stage of his career and his life.
And now that aura of invincibility, that crusher moniker, because he kind of mentally capitulated in this fight.
I thought he did.
That's gone. It's over.
Going to the victor, Andre Ward. Guys, I know he got paid an inordinate amount from Rock Nation, who did an absolutely...
And bankrupted him.
Yeah, did a terrible job. I'll say this about Rock Nation. They couldn't promote McGregor Mayweather. They are that bad. They are that inept. But, okay, putting aside what is really feasible economically, what's next for him? Honestly.
You know, he talked after the fight about Anthony Joshua. Let's put that to bed. That's not happening. That would end very, very poorly. Yeah. Because as you mentioned, Doug, he's not a slick fighter.
He's not. He gets hit.
He's a rough and tumble fighter.
He gets hit by a guy who ain't slick. Kovalev ain't slick. No one's ever said that. Man, he's so technically sharp and accurate. No, man, he just lets his hands go.
And Kovalev's very forward and backward the way he fights. Not a lot of side-to-side movement. And he gets very, very happy with a certain rhythm. And he was still able to time Ward, even in the rematch. So I think a move up to heavyweight, forget about it. But cruiserweight?
Tony Bellew.
Now, that's a money fight. Yeah,
Bellew. See, here's the great thing about Bellew. If you don't have a real reporter, I mean, you don't have a real promoter, right? Like Rock Nation, probably on their way out. They're not going out of their way to push a fight. I mean, they certainly didn't for Ward Kovalev too. Bellew is his own promoter. I mean, he has a promoter who is a real promoter, but Bellew is a self-promoter. He creates interest. He knows how to sell a fight.
Is Ward going to go to London? Because the fight won't matter.
Of course,
here.
it makes sense there. No,
He's
here's
never
here's why I
traveled.
want to see that fight. Because everybody who says no, there's no home cooking or there's no American bias for Andre Ward, what are they going to say if he goes to the UK and fights Tony Bellew and he gets hit with a borderline punch and the referee says, hey, man, protect
Suck it
yourself
up.
at all times.
I
Suck it up.
I could already see it.
There
Howard
people-
Foster.
are those same
Howard
people who
Foster.
defended Ward, are they going to lose their minds?
And that's
I
why-
know they will, and I'm going to love it.
Howard Foster is
gonna
the
love it.
referee.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And please direct all the comments to Doug Fischer. He does
Yeah,
not speak
that
for
way.
all of us,
That way.
but I'm not disagreeing either. Anyway, that's it for this segment of the 10 Count. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Michael Montero, this is Steve Kim saying, till the next round, goodbye, everybody.